those vegan guys. Thank you.
Hello beautiful people, this is another one of those blogs that I didn't particularly want to do, but I think might be really helpful for some people because there still seems to be a lot of confusion about what lockdown is, why we virtually have it in the UK, although the word hasn't been used yet, and why it's so massively important, and some steps that you should be taking that might seem really extreme but are actually really important at a time like this. So the whole thing about staying 2 meters apart, well, let's talk about this first because I think it's really important. The reason that we're all being asked to stay at home at the moment is to ease pressure on the NHS, because if too many people get Covid-19 at the same time, because of the amount of those people who may or very probably will end up with very severe symptoms and having to use a ventilator, will just cripple the NHS. There aren't enough. These are the terrifying but very true and what we have to deal with facts of what's going on right now. We don't have enough intensive care beds. We don't have enough ventilators. We don't even really have enough protective equipment for our frontline staff in the NHS who are still working their asses off trying to deal with this, and it's going to get nothing but worse. So it's about the reason the steps are being taken, and the reason that you may have heard about this phased lockdown, where we'll be locked down for a while, then they'll release us from lockdown, then they'll be locked down again, then they'll release us from lockdown. Basically, what's not being said there is that most of us are going to get this. Some of us are going to die because of it. It needs to be phased how many of us get it, so that we don't cripple the NHS. I know, it's terrifying. So what's different about this particular virus that makes it so scary? Well, it's an extremely catchy virus. If you know about viral load, which is very prevalent with HIV treatments, it's about keeping the viral load, the HIV virus, it's about keeping the number of them in the body as low as possible. And this is the problem with Covid-19, in that the viral load does, whether you are 15, built like a brick shithouse and can run marathons, or over 70 with COPD, it can affect you exactly the same way, depending on the viral load. So if you're around one person who is what they call shedding, so they have the virus, they are dealing with the symptoms, or they haven't recognised the symptoms yet but they already have the virus, they are exhaling the virus, coughing and sneezing the virus. If you're around one person who is shedding the virus, the chances are you will get Covid-19 too, and hopefully you won't get it bad enough that it will kill you. If you're young and healthy and don't already have an illness or issue that causes your immunity system to be compromised. However, if you're at a pop concert, for example, and there are 12 people around you who all have Covid-19 and don't know it yet and are all shedding, then you will get a huge amount of virus, which are the little shits, into your body or onto you, and then it will get transmitted into your body from you touching your eyes or your nose or your mouth, the mucous membranes. So this is why lockdown is so important. It's because our NHS service is already struggling, just checking the battery, is already struggling to some tune to deal with this. And that's going to get much worse, especially after this weekend. I'm filming this on Tuesday. This weekend, the beaches, the parks, all absolutely full of people. And part of me completely understands the need or the want to get outside while you still can, but not at a time like this, when we already knew. But I say that I already knew the risks because I've been paying attention. I've been watching a lot of news, RT, TYT, BBC, MSNBC, pretty much anything except Fox, really, to keep up with what's going on in the world out there, how this is affecting countries, and it's a deadly virus. It's a terrifying and deadly virus. Of course, it would be remiss of me as a vegan to not mention that it is yet another virus that has come directly from animals, from us using, abusing and eating animals, like so many illnesses before it, all of the coronaviruses, SARS, MERS, H1N1, they've all come from animals. That's the lesson. This is the lesson. Not to, it's, I don't want to be preachy to meat eaters, but please think about it. Just please think about the fact that not only is animal agriculture incredibly cruel, and animals feel pain and fear and loss and stand in slaughterhouses terrified knowing what's coming. Not only all that, it's not good for you, and it's killing our planet. And now we have this virus, which again has come from directly eating animals. And please don't judge. Don't be that person that says, oh yeah, but it's those Chinese, isn't it, eating those weird animals. Because if you only eat lambs, cows and pigs, get rid of the word only, you're eating lambs, cows and pigs. So to me, as a vegan, I look at you exactly the same way as you look at them. It's speciesism. Why eat one animal and not the other? How dare you judge anybody for eating animals when you eat animals yourself? The key in all this is stop eating animals. There's the rub. Feel very lucky today in that my husband is at home working upstairs, bless him, in my drag room, surrounded by frocks, wigs and sequins. He's got a nice little chair up there set up, and his laptop, and he's been he came down for lunch. He's being proper efficient, doing it right. I thought he'd cheat a bit being at home, but oh no, not Jason. We popped out to Sainsbury's this morning, mainly for, insert picture here, I want to get to the point where I'm using things like I should have been doing anyway really as a vegan, but I've never been one for soak for 12 hours, cook for 4 days, rinse 90 times, but I will be. Because I need to be now, because we need to be going to the shops as little as possible. So yeah, you should be staying home unless you're a key worker, who keep society going. Bless all the staff. Thanked everyone in Sainsbury's today for just being awesome. And Sainsbury's now has tape at the checkouts 2 meters apart, so that people aren't queuing back to back. Still some people stood looking at the shelf for ages and dead slow and sauntering, and it's like, love, we've got to keep separate. This is not the time. Get what you want and move on so others can pass you. Be thoughtful at a time like this. Life has changed dramatically, and it may never be the same again, and what we do from here on will have huge impacts on our future generations, the planet. We need to learn the lesson that the planet keeps trying to tell us. Stop fucking with animals. You don't need to. Stop force breeding them to then kill them and eat their flesh. Because what it takes to do that is taking a real toll on the earth and on you. 16 pounds of grain to raise 1 pound of beef. 20,000 gallons of water. And it's our fault because we're overbreeding the animals to kill them. You do know about the overbreeding thing, don't you? The fact that cows are forcefully impregnated. No? Oh, well, have a look at this video here. Dairy's scary. It's a very good one. Very, very good. So yeah, I suppose I'm like everybody else. I'm scared, and the guidelines that are being sent out to people are very, kind of strict. Me and Jason were doing this anyway, though, except for the washing the clothes part, although I'll probably get to that now as well. But when we went out a few days ago, when we came home, we got into the house, took off our outdoor clothes and put them in a safe place where we wouldn't touch them again until they were needed again, which happened to be today. Had showers, put on our indoor clothes, which had no contamination at all, and from then point consider ourselves okay, we're safe now. Because this virus is a clinger, apparently. It's like, like most viruses, it's except that this one can transmit through droplets and stick to your skin, and then get white. You scratch your cheek, you've no idea there's a virus on there, and then you pick some out your tooth. So be careful. And that's why the whole thing about washing your hands and making sure you do it for 20 minutes. You noticed my beaded bracelets are gone. I've kept on the silver ones because silver's natural antibacterial, but I'm still scrubbing them when I do my hands. I get them onto my wrist, and I also move my while I'm washing my hands, move my engagement ring and my wedding ring and get underneath, and because I don't want to take them off, although it is recommended that you don't wear jewellery, because the virus can cling to anything, to your clothing, to your hair, to your skin, hence the measures. So be safe and go to the shop only when you need to. You can spend time in your garden. That's fine. I ordered Jason to before when he popped down for a minute. I'd been sat outside in the back garden where it's lovely and sunny, and I just said, just go outside and sit for 5 minutes because the sun's right there on the chair. Get some vitamin D, and he did, and he said, Felt lovely, that, thank you. So it's important to get yourself some, don't be scared of going in your garden. Your garden's okay. If you have a garden, open your windows, get some fresh air in. Yeah, it's, I just wish that Boris would actually say, right, official lockdown. And can we all also, please, really pay attention. I saw this in a film once, and I wish I could remember what film or it was someone being interviewed by someone else, and they said that they remembered a message that their mother had told them years ago, and the message was, when you're in moments of crisis, she didn't say those words, but related to that, look for the helpers. There will always be people helping. I love that. I just love it. I think it's beautiful. Look for the helpers. There will always be people helping. Whilst you're doing that, acknowledge the wankers, such as the CEO of Wetherspoons. And please, let's not forget, if you were a Remainer, this guy used his pubs and the magazine that the pub publishes to push Brexit so hard. Even beer mats, even had Brexit beer mats. He was very pro-leave right the way through. Now he's basically given a video to his staff saying, alright, we're short. The government have said they'll pay your wages, but we're not sure how long that will take. So he's going to make them wait. With his £300 million, he's going to make them wait. And he suggested they all get jobs at Tesco. So can we stop funding scum? Can we learn in society, as soon as someone shows us who they are, can we believe them? Maya Angelou tried to tell us, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. It's one of those crucially important life lessons that I don't understand how, when humans first hear it, how it doesn't burn onto your brain, because it's of course, when someone shows you who they truly are, believe them. This is not a nice man. This is a money hungry, uncaring, filthy rich, wannabe toff. I vow right now that I will never, not that I did anyway, but I will never, ever step foot in a Wetherspoons venue ever again for the rest of my life. Not even if they offered the vegan queens a range of gigs, because Stuart's in the same boat. He'd say no, nope, not doing it, just not doing it. There are other jobs, but I understand that they employ a lot of people, 40,000 in fact. There are other jobs where you will be treated better. There are other places such as Costa, who've shut down and agreed to pay, is it 8 weeks of wages for the staff? I'll go to Costa, but I'll never go to Wetherspoons, because they've shown me who they are and I believe them. Don't you think it's one of those, massively important lessons? So yeah, the reason I bought, you saw the lentils and the red kidney beans. The reason I bought the red kidney beans is, the other night I had a tin in cupboard, and I kept thinking, shall I make a chilli? But I had no chilli powder. Like a chili con carne. So I had this tin of kidney beans, and I finely chopped an onion and did it in the wok with just a tiny bit of oil and then splashes of water. I'm trying to cut down on the oil. Splashes of water, then the kidney beans, and I put spices, you know, they've rinsed and everything, spices and everything, and it went kind of like a refried beans consistency. It was gorgeous, beautiful. Bit of garlic powder, bit of onion powder, bit of salt, bit of pepper. Beautiful side dish. Would have been and I put some Iceland chicken style pieces in with it, and then did a salad as well, and we had pita breads, like stuffed pita breads. Gorgeous. Spicy chicken and fried bean pita breads with salad. Gorgeous. So I'm just like, right, let's not keep buying tins, let's get them dried. You've got to soak them for 12 hours apparently, and then rinse them really well, and then you boil them for 15 minutes, and then you simmer for 60 minutes or until tender, and then they're done. So yeah, 12 hours. You just like soak them overnight, don't you, in the fridge. I don't think it specifies, just says soak. So can you do it in the fridge? If you know, let me know down there if you please. I would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I wanted to kind of, you know, that the reason for this video today was there's still a lot of people confused, and I hope that my layman's terms of things that I'm learning myself has helped you understand a bit more about viral load and about not being around too many people, and about the fact that we are all probably going to get this at some point, and how we get it and how severe we get it can be everything, you know, regardless of our age and stuff. Obviously people who are older and have underlying health conditions or compromised immune systems are going to have a much more difficult time with it, but for everybody, viral load is hugely important. So if you walk down a seafront at the weekend and you walk past 20 people who were all shedding, you're going to very probably get a very severe case of this horrific illness, which is continually taking lives all over the world. And of course we've got, you know, Trump still showing his true colours, talking. There's a guy died, you know, from taking that chloroquine, and his wife said in hospital she survived, but she's in, you know, critical condition. She said in hospital that she believed him when he said it would work, because he's done his whole, you know, I got a feeling, I'm a smart guy, I got a feeling about this. Her and her husband took it. Her husband's dead, she's in critical care. She said, don't believe a word the man says, don't believe a word the man says, he's a muppet. Believe the people, some of the people around him. That doctor was strangely absent from last night's press conference. The one who's been correcting all his mistakes. Dr. Faust. Fairs. Names. There's so many names at the moment. Did you enjoy our exercise bike adaptation video? I'm going to link it up there right now. We had two very different ways of enjoying your exercise bike more in the comfort of your own home, or indeed in the garden, and we wanted to share those ideas and thoughts with you. Perchance, besmirch, that's not the right word, perchance you might like to try them yourself, because they're quite lovely ways. I'm also going to whack our recipes playlist up there. Seriously, there's noodle dishes, burgers, brownies, things shoved in pastry, soups, stews, cottage pie, puff pastry pizza, bibimbap. There is so much in our recipes playlist, and also in the Vegan Queens recipes playlist as well, which is of course myself and Stuart. Let's just get down to brass tactics. Let's look behind the curtain for a minute. Oh, it's Paul and Stuart in bras. Who knew? You knew, don't be silly. So I'll put the Vegan Queens recipes playlist up there. I'm going to leave my husband to work. I'm going to get this edited and up online and hope it helps. This is the reason we're in lockdown. This is the reason we need to stay in lockdown and slowly filter back into society. This could take many months. Things are never going to be the same after this. So let's make sure that they're loads better by acknowledging that eating animals has led to too many illnesses now that kill people, and too many illnesses that slowly kill people. Let's eradicate that, and let's eradicate the scum of society who are rich and really don't give a shit about the rest of us. They're all showing their true colours now. The ones asking for bailouts, the ones laying off staff without any thought for their well-being. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. I'm showing you who I am right now. I hope you believe me. I'd never lie to you. Honestly. I love you. And I love me. And I love that fella upstairs as well, who's working his little bum off. So, I'll speak to you again soon. Till then, be excellent to yourself and each other. A nice glug of cold coffee. That's not that bad, it's tepid. So the soon cocker. Addendum, and not a very nice one, but I forgot to mention it, and I think it's really important because it's an horrific thought, and it may be a driving force in making us all be safer, be cleaner, and looking after ourselves at this time. If somebody close to us goes into hospital at this time with Covid-19 severe symptoms, we cannot go to hospital to see them. There is no visiting in hospitals right now. You cannot go and see someone who has Covid-19. If, worst case scenario, that person dies, they will die with only health personnel around them who will, I'm sure, do their best job. But I don't want to die with people I don't know around me, no matter how wonderful I think they are. I hope when my time comes, and please don't let it be now, that I'm surrounded by people I love, or at least one person I love. Funerals at this time will only be allowed to have a few people there. There will be no wake. There will be no pubs or venues open to have a wake in. You will go to a funeral, have a service, and then you will go home and wash. This is cold and clinical and horrible and so necessary. So please, please take care of you and yours throughout this crisis. Don't underestimate it. Don't think you're being OCD if you're stripping everything off and washing. Good. Once you're in, you're clean, you're sanitised. Stay in as long as you can. If you need help, reach out for it. Okay, back to the video.
Really hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do like and subscribe, it helps us out loads.
It really does. And check down there in the description because you'll find loads of links. The 2 ways that you can best support us to keep this channel going are through becoming a patron on our Patreon down there in the description, or buying our merch, darling. Fabulous link down there. We deal with a fabulous vegan company called Vegan Original. Check it out, guys.